as you know, the way we start the meetings usually is kind of talk about what's gone on the last week or two and like we're having success with and what's kind of working. And so can you go to the second slide there? And I don't know if you want to share it for there. Okay, believe it or not, I did this today. So because I didn't know if I would have someone here. So I'm like, okay, so in the last couple weeks, we've had the Eau Claire and Chippewa rallies. I don't know about you all, I'm seeing some rally fatigue. How many people are experiencing or seeing rally fatigue? Yep, I'm seeing and hearing it. Hello, hi. Have some pizza. I am seeing that the numbers are dropping off a little. People are having a harder time. Now, I do think two things really contributed to that. One, we had double rallies in the week. The one week we had the Social Security rally, then we had the Wednesday rally, then we had the Thursday rally. The next week on Thursday we had two of them again. We had both May Day in Eau Claire and Chippewa, but then they had the Wednesday, and then we had the Justice Dugan rally. So I just think people want to be good humans and do a good job and go out and fight, but I think people are getting tired out. So so for our rally strategy, I want to be more careful about this because as I go through tonight, you're going to see the rally strategy is really important. It's one of the 4 legs that this is built on, but it's not the only one. But it is important, and so we've got to keep it going, and so we'll talk about that. The Dugan rally, as you know, got canceled completely. I really did try not to cancel it. I was really going to go, and then when the sirens went off, I thought, well, it doesn't do me any good to kill you. Having a hard enough time getting you in here as it is. So we will try and do better about all of that. So then the next big thing is the groups. We're doing the subgroup thing, and I'm finding that we're getting that's giving us a lot of good traction and a lot of activity and making people feel connected. So believe it or not, these are the groups. So Neighbors Helping Neighbors, they're the folks that did the egg rally, and now they're the one doing the Sojourner Drive. You know that? The pickup of the stuff. Come on in, get some food, grab a chair. So the Sojourner Drive, they're dropping off all the stuff tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And we got dozens and dozens of things, tents, tarps, all the stuff. How many folks have been on the web page? Have you? Good. I got to ask you guys got to go. I've been changing that out daily. So if you want to know daily what to do, come to the meeting, go to the whatever, use 5 calls. Jonas Mental Health Awareness Day is tomorrow, Madison Lobby Day. You guys can start just hitting this in the morning. Just pop and hit in here, and then you can start seeing what's going on. And then on the left-hand side, it has whatever key things are going on. These will change out like weekly. One of the things it talks about is we've added the action groups all have their own button on the top. Hi. So now like education, healthcare, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, as soon as I get your name solid, you guys will come up, your group comes up too. But we've been building these out. So like Neighbors Helping Neighbors, if you go to that group, then you can see here, this is what was collected for the Sojourner House. You can see Margot and Kathy, right? Nod for me. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so then underneath is the egg drive thing. And the way all of the pages are going to work, all of their pages, whatever group you're in, they're all going to be the same. On the left-hand side is whatever the current content is you want the community to know about. So whatever your biggest thing is you're working on, it goes there. On the right-hand side is the 5 calls thing. Kurt is taking this over. Kurt's going to be doing this. And then on the lower right-hand side, every page will have a blog where you guys can just post to each other. Hi, grab some pizza. So you guys can just post to each other like things that are going on. So it's just a regular blog, or if you find articles that you think are good, or if you find anything you'd like people to know. So if anyone has an interest in helping each other, your group can dump anything you want. I don't care. It's your page. I can tell you one thing that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. Because there are 10 of you and I am super busy. But if you've got stuff on education, if you've got stuff on healthcare, whatever you want people to know, drop it in there, take a link, post it. Comfortable conversations, messaging minutes, encouraging voices, that's all up here too. We're starting to pump all that up so that this becomes a place everyone can go to, and you can do it on your phone, and you can send your friends, right? And so even things like the Wisconsin Rep Town Halls. Hit that, would you? I know, I took the computer away from her. There it is. So go down. So there's Baldwin's, keep coming. So there's Johnson. Van Orden, and we've got, if there's video, we put up the video, and then we have the transcripts. So now, you want to know what they said at the last one? You weren't there? Go check. Anyone says they don't believe you? Let them go look. Right? It's like we want this information out there. So we have the group set up, the encouraging voices, our front page, the 5 things we want you to do. Got it? So you guys just got to start hitting it. You got to start hitting it. Okay? And if you find something that doesn't work, you got to tell me. Because it means Cindy made a boo-boo somewhere. Because I'm the one, or Amy, but I usually check your stuff. So, so if it really is going to be like my fault. Okay? So got it? So neighbors helping neighbors. So like we want that people paying attention. But this changes out every day now. So how many of you knew that Jonah was having a mental health awareness day tomorrow? Good, for those of you that knew. Awesome. Hi, Jeannie. Madison Lobby Day. How many of you knew on the 27th there's going to be a bus leaving here to go down? Free. I heard they're going to be snacks too. So they're going to pick you, and lunch. They're going to pick you up, take you down. You can go fight for education. You can go fight for climate. If these are things you care about, get on the bus. Go hang out with some friends for the day. Get a free ride to Madison. Sing songs.
I have flyers if anybody needs.
She has flyers if you need them. Right? Okay? This is where we're trying to get it so you guys get used to looking so you don't have to look all over. Okay? So we're building her out. We're building her out. All right, can you go back to the slideshow? The bus I'm telling you, the food is free. When I heard that, I thought, oh, maybe I'll go. I can afford lunch, but it's like weird things seal the deal for you. I'm like, oh, free lunch. I guess I should go. It's kind of like pizza, right? Oh, pizza, I better go. Like I've never had pizza before, right? I don't know. I'm human. What can I say? Are you back on the page? Oh, I need to go back there. I need that page. Can the gals in the back still see? Are you still sharing? Just hit Zoom. You guys can still see it, right? Give me a thumbs up. Nope. Are you sharing? No seeing. Did you stop sharing? Share. No, down below. Go to Zoom. How can they not see? Hang on. They can't see. That's so annoying.
You've got way too many things.
Well, that's because that's how I roll. I roll that way, Here, let's go here. Okay, you guys can see now? Sorry, I'm confusing the heck out of Karen. Okay, good. Got a thumbs up. We can keep moving. Okay, so neighbors helping neighbors. I told you, Indivisible National like that. They're scaling it. It's moving. This is getting, and I got to tell you the other thing. WEAU and WQOW covered us for the egg drive. I do mail out press releases on our rallies. I do. I do call them about that. They don't come. I sent them information about the Sojourner House. They're coming tomorrow. So, maybe if we get them to do a couple more things, maybe they'll start to come to the rallies, So we just got to keep working it. We got to keep working it. Okay, where are we? Okay, the Protecting Equity group is working on Pride. Pat Vetch is in here, I see. I got a second button maker because for some reason everybody wants to make buttons now, so Kurt started that. Okay, so the Protecting Equity group is working on Pride in the Park. That is June 14th. It is in Eau Claire, so we are going to have a table there. We do need people to sign up to cover the table. And so just so you guys know, I haven't gotten to this part yet. When we get to the future, I'm going to talk about the No Kings Parade, the No Kings Day Parade. Indivisible National doesn't ask us things before they plan these things. All of our representatives are down in Madison for, their convention on that weekend, and it's Pride in the Park. So it conflicts with a bunch of stuff for us. So one of the things is I'm planning it in a way that I think it will feed into and will dump right into Pride. So I think I've figured out a way to make it connect. If the city, and so far they're saying it's okay, and Parks and Rec, so we'll see. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Anyway, they're working on Pride. The Health Action Group, the main thing the Health Action Group is working on for us is impact stories. Now, I need this from everyone, not just the Healthcare Action Group. So the things that are like happening to Beaver Creek, the things that are like happening to Sojourner House, anybody who says to you, the administration did X, and now I have this problem, we want to hear from them. So thank you, make that work. Okay, she's got it. All right. You make that thing work. So the stories we need, first of all, Mark Pocan is having a town hall, and he needs people to come and do their stories. So they've asked us to help find people, so we need to help find people for Mark Pocan on the 31st. We need to have people, because I'm getting calls again from national organizations. They're starting to need people, so I need calls. The biggest thing I need is sometimes I'll get so Amy and I are setting up a form where people can go onto the website and put in their information, and then we'll reach out to them and record them. So that's the main thing you all need to know. If you get somebody, say, Cindy, where's the link to that page? At which point I'll finish it very quickly. I promise. Okay? All right, rule of law. You guys, the rule of law folks are working on the rapid response team stuff. The ACLU has said they want to come in and work and get that going too. So you guys are making good forward progress on that, right? Is there anything else I need to say? Okay, I got nothing else to say on that. That is the depth of my knowledge on where we are. Okay, the Save Our Services group have started working on the Ice Age Trail. The biggest thing I see in these small groups is if you guys pick a project, it's awesome because things start to happen. So these guys are starting to work on stuff with the Ice Age Trail, so they'll fill us in more on that. The letters to the editor group. They would really like a liaison with each group. So each group, I'm asking you, find 1 or 2 people to liaise. Talk to the LTE group so they can help get your stories out there. Okay? So, you got it?
LTE group CV@gmail.com.
See, Marcus sends me lots of emails, just so you know. Did you hear that? LTE group CV, Chippewa Valley, @gmail.com.
Yeah, and we would appreciate liaison in each of the working groups so we can actually pick up your stories and make them known.
Because people love this stuff. You know?
Can you say that one more time?
Sure he can. Hi, Leon.
LTE, that's letter to the editor.
Group,
Chippewa Falls, CV.
CV, Chippewa Valley. CV @gmail.com. Okay? Because he asked me earlier, can you give me 2 people from each group? I'm like, no, I cannot. No, I cannot. Yeah, I mean, like, being honest, I don't know which 2 people want to do it. I don't know who knows it. I don't know. But you guys want your stories out. You'd like to get as much coverage as these other folks, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you guys like to be covered too? Wouldn't you like people to know what you're doing? Okay, help them out so people can know. Okay, eat more pizza. PWC, that's people. The Monday night groups are continuing. They're coming up with a new series for the support group. They are talking about opening it up to the public so there can be more folks there. So either the next email or the one after that, there will be a new listing of what the new topics are. Okay? There's a lot to cover today. There's a new group formed now. We call them what? Woohoo! Okay, see, I've done this whole first column. I just want you to know this first column is done. How'd you make it? Now you stay right there. Don't you move. You get it back up again. All right, now starting on the second column, you keep working that there.
You said really fast and you meant it.
I did. I was not a kidding, man. Okay, we have a new group that has formed. It's called the Appreciation Outreach Group. That's Nina, Patty, Terry, Kiana, and Margaret, I think. I don't know. What the main thing, remember when we went to the Social Security office? Remember we went to the Social Security office and gave them something and let them know we see them and we care about them and all that? We're going to start doing that at more places, like the health department, whatever. So groups can nominate places that they think need recognition. We're going to start going out and recognizing them, taking something like 1 a week and give them things. The other thing that I came up with this idea that I think is brilliant, but so far most everybody is terrified when I mention it. So just get ready for a terrifying idea. I want to start reaching out to things like the Department of Health and telling them that we're willing to sponsor if someone wants to come in and share information with the public. Like a speaker series. Like we would be more than willing to be a source where the public can come and hear what's going on. So that's part of what the appreciation group is doing, is trying to create a connection that we can then get information that we share with the public. I don't know, most people are like, Cindy, we don't want to do that. So I'm like, but I mean, it is a lot of work. But I think we got people, and I think people want to know. So whatever. But at any rate, that's part of what I'm hoping we do. See, when I was up in Rhinelander, I came up with the idea, and I gave it to them, and they loved it, and they're already running with it. So now I'm jealous. I want to catch up. Because you know what? I'm really just a petty little human being. It's like, oh my God, they're going to beat me with my own idea. Just kidding, of course. Anyway, but the other thing I think is it makes us be seen as a source of truth, a source of information, someone they can count on in the community. We start to be a group of people that are a resource. And when you hear all the other things I'm going to be talking about today, which looks to me like I'm going to be talking very quickly, when we hear about it, you'll see why that's really important. Okay? Blah, blah, blah. The Truth Brigade, I don't see it. Oh, that's Mike. Mike is here. We are coming up with a brochure for Chippewa Valley Indivisible that you guys can hand out at all kinds of things, and we're going to put inserts in. If you have a specific insert for your group, for education, for neighbors helping neighbors, for whatever, you can put it. We'll make an insert page, third page, so the core of the group stuff is all the same, and then you have your piece. Okay? Okay, did I forget anybody? Oh, this. Don't just ignore these. I got carried away this afternoon. Just ignore me. Okay, this is Cindy getting carried away. Did I forget any group or forget anybody? So here's what's true. You guys are doing amazing work. Just amazing work. You're showing up for all the rallies. You're coming to the meetings. You're eating my pizza, which is making me so happy, right? And you're working in your small groups. You're all taking on real projects in these communities that are making a difference. And that is amazing and awesome, and thank you. You know? So we're doing good work. All right. Next slide. Oh, hey, there's Matt. Hi, Matt. Who's Mark? Which Mark is that? Mark who? Huh? Oh, that's you? You're Mark? Okay, Mark. Nice to meet you. Do you have any other personalities we should know about? And are any of them really good at, like, networking stuff? No. Just kidding. That was one of my favorite books when I was younger. Okay. So the messaging minute is going to be a few minutes. One of the things I just got to say, to give you some context of where this is coming from today, I don't know about the rest of you, but when we hit Trump's 100 days and it was done, there were a few days, maybe a week, where I was just like, ugh, now what? You know, we made it through 100 days. Now what? It just seemed like it was going to take forever. Because especially I looked at a countdown and it said there were 1,300 days left. And I was like, oh my God, how do we do 1,300 more of these? And so I had to be like whiny for a couple days and drag around the house to try and figure out, well, what are we going to do? And I thought about Ukraine and the Ukraine war. And I don't know about you guys, and anybody who's been around me in the last week has heard this example because I've been telling them about it. So you remember when the war first broke out and Russia said it was going to be done in a day? 2 at the most, and they hung on and they said, you know, to the Russian, go fuck yourself, to the Russian sub, remember? And they hung on for 2 days, and then they hung on for a week, and we were all just amazed, right? And then it kept going. People came in, they started getting more help, and you started to feel like, yeah. And I started to think maybe they were going to be able to win. You know, and the days ticked on, and pretty soon it was 100 days. And they said, you know, they've been at war 100 days. And even back then, I remember having the thought like, oh, now they're at war. And now the siege sets in. And that's what I thought of for us. I know, inspiring. Isn't this an inspiring meeting tonight? Aren't you guys all uplifted? Yeah! I'm ready to go. But that's what I felt like. I thought, oh my God. How are they going to keep going? I don't know how I'm going to keep going. This is really hard. And so I whined a lot. And then I started digging, because that's what I do. So I started digging in research. Who do I read? Who's going to tell me what we got to do to get out of this? I got to know how to get out of this. What can we do? And so I went to like Chenoweth. I went to Levitsky. I went to Hannah Arendt. I went to Timothy Snyder. I went to all the experts on authoritarianism and authoritarian regimes. And, you know, one of the things with all of that, we're all selling that 3.5%, you know, when we get to 3.5%. And that is a true statistic, and it's a good statistic. But the problem is it's only one of the 4 legs. And that's what I found out in the research. Oh. And ironically, I was saying this to Jesse I guess yesterday or today. Ironically, we've already started doing things on all 3 of the other legs. This group has. So apparently we're either very clever or it's just what good people do. Maybe this is what happens when good people get in the fight. So now I'm like, well, maybe this is just what good people do. And they know, we just are going with what needs to go. So that's what I'm going to talk about. What are the things we need to do? So the other couple of things, these are, how I'm always, in addition to studying the folks on authoritarianism, I'm always listening to the folks on messaging, how to talk to people and looking at the newest research. So Michael Podhorzer, who is a wonderful, brilliant mind and the most boring man on the planet to listen to. I fall asleep every time I go to one of his things. It's so hard. But here's what he told me this week after several viewings. Okay? One of the things that they did is they asked people if they regretted their vote. Now, they did a study in a way that they didn't have to say if they didn't like Trump or didn't like Harris, but did they regret or would they change their vote now if they knew now, knew then what they know now. What they discovered, which was really interesting, that 1 in 13, well first, 1 in 100 Harris voters said they would have voted for Trump. 1 in 100, which was surprising to me. But since I'm going to tell you the other side, I figured I had to be fair and tell you that one. On the Trump side, 1 in 20 said they would have voted differently. So 5 times as many. Who cares? 1 in 13 on the Harris side said they wouldn't have voted for anyone. And 1 in 20 on the Trump side said they wouldn't have voted for anyone. But the biggest, most amazing, surprising group to everyone is 1/3 of the people who said they didn't vote wish they would have voted. Yep, 1/3. 1 out of every 3 said they wished they would have voted. That's amazing. So then they did another, as part of that same study, if all the people who voted in 2024 voted then how they feel now, what would the election have been? Harris would have won by 4.1%. If the non-voters had voted, 7.9%, which is like 13 million people. And so what's interesting is Podhorzer and Annette Shanker Osario, who they blame is the media and us. Like somehow we didn't get the message out. Like somehow we let them stay in their silos. Who knows? Doesn't matter. You can finger point all you want. Whatever. But what is true is we can't let that go on. Right? We really can't let that go on. So Podhorzer, the other thing that he talked about, which I will talk about next week because this is already going to be long, is that not only are people having, like a lot of people, there's an anti-MAGA thing going on right now where it's really growing again. You remember for a while it was really big. But it's interesting. The people that are anti-MAGA are not turning Democratic. In fact, Democratic voters are turning away from Democrats, and Republican and MAGA voters and Republicans are turning away. He said there is a startling de-alignment against both political parties, which is scary. But that's just, I got to do more research on that. I don't have enough. That was just like, I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? So the whole thing of who's the best candidate, it's not. So there's some interesting political stuff going on there. All right. Anat, the other thing that she said that I thought was really interesting that as a group I really want, right here. She said, messages that are not repeated are not heard. So when I come in here and talk with you guys, it's awesome. When you talk to each other and your friends, it's awesome. If it doesn't go any farther, the message is dead. So we got to get on social media. We got to get in the press, hence the reason I'm working so hard on the press stuff, hence I'm working so hard on this. And Ann Pearson has come up with this brilliant new project. If she was here, I will just tell you, it's just brilliant. Next week we'll talk about it. It's another piece we're taking on that's about messaging. You'll like it, okay? So it's all about piercing the silos and being heard more. So and one of the things I always suggest is a letter to the editor group, and I'm like, yeah, we're on that. I mean, a lot of the things that they're saying we're doing, so we're on the right one with that. Okay, and then the third, I'm going to skip over Chenoweth, because we're going to hit her. And then I'm just going to say, did you guys read the email that I sent you with the piece on Cheryl and Eiffel? Yeah, so you heard, the main thing that I heard that she said was that we need to be in more public spaces. So it's like the rallies that we're doing, but we also need to be at picnics, potlucks, block parties. We need to be out and celebrating and expanding our community, right? Making them welcoming and having more people join us. Because I don't know about you all, I get tired. I'd like more bodies to help us, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay, so let's get some more bodies to help us. Okay? And the easiest way to do that is let's have fun together. Okay? So let's figure out, it's like the good deeds we're doing, the information we're given, the fights we're taking on. Let's broaden our base. Okay, good. Questions? Yo!
In light of what you just discussed.
No, you're scaring
what I
me.
have is,
Yeah?
you know, you say the research is showing people are turning away from democracy.
Not democracy,
Democrats.
political parties.
Yes.
I want to say it that way because it's political
Yes.
parties that are really turning them off.
Yes, and I understand what you're saying. I said that incorrectly.
It's not
I
incorrect.
think that people are identifying us as a democratic based.
We say we're nonpartisan all the time, and yes, it is possible. Yes, it is possible, and we just have to keep saying nonpartisan. We just have to keep saying, we're not aligned with any party. But yes, it is possible. The biggest challenge, what the Democratic Party is trying to do is figure out how to change the languaging so people see it differently, but it's staggering where it's at. I mean, their approval rate is like 27%. It's horrible. And people are just really frustrated. And so, but at the same time, no one is coming to save us. I got to say, in Trump 1.0, by this point, at 100 days, we had made more progress. We had. The Congress was starting to kick in Trump 1.0. They were. Wasn't pretty. They still voted that big ugly bill back then too, but we were starting to hold them better. So now the problem is that because we are in a period known as authoritarian breakthrough. Do you guys know that? We're in authoritarian breakthrough now. Authoritarian breakthrough. All of the authoritarian scholars say we've entered it now, which is when the political party is amassing power as quickly as they can and trying to shut it down so we can't change it. So it's not there yet, but parts of it are. They really are. So we're fighting like dogs to say that, but because that's going on, it makes all of this stuff harder. It was interesting, in an Indivisible meeting today, Leah said, it's like we have to fight with, like we're fighting two battles, and it's like in each battle we have a split mind about it. In one, we're fighting for democracy and working with our Congress people and working with the courts and doing all the normal stuff we should do in a democracy because that's what we're trying to support and make happen. Even though at the same time we know they're breaking it down, but we can't fight like that's true because then they're winning. So we have to continue to fight for democratic norms and be outraged and keep doing that, even though we can see they're doing everything they can to push it down. So it's like we're doing two battles. Yeah, Amy?
One thing to think about too is historically, because it's relevant, in Germany, the pushback the Nazis took so long because the opposing people were fractured about how to go about it. They were, I want to do it this way, and I want to do it that way, and I want to do it that way, and couldn't come together until it got bad enough when they all said, I don't care how we do it, we just have to do it. And so that's, I think, too, part of what's playing into people are falling away from what's in existence, but haven't quite figured out
what to do. Plus, there's a thing called normalcy bias. People want to say, like, oh, it's not that bad, because who wants to admit what's real? So there's this thing, like, we try and be like, oh, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So, but, we know. All right. So this is just the stuff on messaging. Be sure and, go look at Freedom Over Fascism if you aren't. We need to do more social media, more getting out there. And for those of you that don't do social media, okay, you got to go talk to your friends because we need to start reaching out to folks more. And then this stuff. So this is just all info. Okay, go. All right. You guys know what autocracy is, autocratic breakthrough, and competitive autocracy, which I think, these are just things I think it's helpful if you know. The first thing is that autocratic power is fragile. You guys know that. They have to keep reinforcing their people or they're going to lose their power. It's not monolithic. It's lots of groups, and they're all competing for attention under Trump. You can see that. You can see that, right? Autocratic breakthrough is a transition from the rule of law to the law of rule, where whoever is in charge is telling us what we can do, and they are working to make structural changes that make it impossible to unseat the people in power. That's what they're doing. That's what's going on. And then this piece, competitive autocracy, this was one I had never even heard of, I didn't know. In competitive authoritarian regimes, we're used to things like where the authoritarians come in by force and take over like Pinochet and throw everybody out, right? That's not the kind of authoritarian takeover we're having here. We're having what's called competitive autocracy, which in these authoritarian regimes, formal democratic, meaning democracy, institutions are widely viewed as the means by which they obtain and exercise power. They use the law to go after their enemies, right? They use the things of democracy to go after their enemies. They use the press to destroy them. Get it? So that's competitive. When they get into power and then they force schools to kick people out, or we take your money away, right? That's competitive autocracy. They're doing it all in a little bloodless thing, okay? Not that it feels all that bloodless. Okay, next one. Are we having fun yet? Yeah.
My question is thinking of the midterms, you know, because that's what everybody, I think most people in this group would say, okay, midterms, if we can hang on till the midterms.
That's on the next slide.
Okay, are we going to, tell
I
me
have an
if we can make it to the midterms?
I think we're going to make it. And the astrologer that I follow says we actually are going to win them. And since he's the one that told me Trump was coming into power and I hated him for it, and then he told me he was going to stay in power, and then he said he was going to get impeached but not convicted, I hated him. But he's been right about many things, and he says from August 7th, okay, just ignore this. For those of you that don't, just ignore this. Those of you that I think I'm crazy. From August 7th until next beginning of June, it's going to be ugly. He's going to overcome the courts and a lot of things are going to happen, but then he's going to start slipping, and then we'll take the midterms, he says. So I'm prepared for, okay, August to June is going to be ugly. Okay, who knows if it's true or not? It helps me get ready. Yeah?
Regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless.
We got to do it. Yeah, we do.
Regardless of what we think is possible.
Yep. And so now I'm going to give you the 4 legs that are going to help us, and you're going to see what we're doing. And this gave me hope. So I hope it gives you hope. But I may have taken you too far. I may have taken you too far down. Yeah! Anyway, so Chenoweth, Levitsky, and all the rest of them, Snyder, here's the 4 things they say that are the keys to breaking this authoritarian, like eventually Trump or somebody will be out of power. Eventually. Even if it's just because he dies. I mean, like seriously, even if it's just because he dies, eventually we got to have a change. So what are the things that help us get there? So the first one is growing numbers and momentum in rallies and public protests. Okay, that's the first thing. Second, loyalty shifts in the pillars of support, resilience, and organizational discipline. I know they're just words right now. They're like, what? But, as I whip through them, and use a variety of nonviolent methods. Okay, go to the first one. Next one, I mean. Thanks. Okay, so protests and civil resistance. We are doing this. This is the 3.5% thing. The big thing is that the numbers, that if you have growing numbers, it indicates that there's organization and it's in good shape. So the way they calculate the momentum of civil resistance is the number of participants each week times the number of protests. Who cares? It builds pressure. The most important thing is the groups that are studying this show that we have 3 times as many now as we did in 2017. We are 3 times higher. It needs to get higher still. We got to make No Kings rally. We got to make No Kings big. But we are doing this okay. This is what we're doing. But the problem is, and that'll be a number 4, it's going to get stale if we don't shift something. Okay, go next. Pillars of support, okay? So these are the 5 things keeping Trump in power, okay? This is them, the military. I mean, so far, he hasn't declared martial law, and if he does, we have to hope that they don't shoot us. But that is one of the pillars. And one of the most important things with pillars of support is in every authoritarian regime, power comes down from the top, and then we send it back up to him. If we all stop, If the whole country stops, he can't lead. But there are a lot of people who keep going. All right, so the police, we have a problem with ICE. They are doing his bidding. The third one, can you, huh?
Political party.
Thank you. Did you see him? Okay, good. Hang on to him. Political party is the main one that Indivisible works. And that's, trying to work with our Congress people. Okay? The fourth one is cultural elites. Thank you. Okay, cultural elites are things like Elon Musk and the billionaires. Okay, they're propping him up. And then the fifth one is the media. I got the media. Okay, so the media. So basically, these are the 5 things we need to claw at. Do you guys get that? And the way we do that is we try to break their support. And so Cesar Chavez did it during the grape, during the whole thing with the grape strike. And I told you that story last week. You guys know that story, right? So they got the stores, they wouldn't go buy them from the store. So then they said they were going to ship them overseas. And so then the longshoremen wouldn't move them. So basically we have to help tear down these things. Because what happens is, as that support shifts, even if they just go from being active allies to passive allies, they make new decisions. And even Amy Siskin is saying right now, you keep going. You just do what you do. That's okay. So Amy Siskin is saying, do you guys know this? Trump had the fewest broken norms this week of any week since the election. The fewest. Did you know that? No, it does. She tracks him. It's like half of what, it's really low. He knows he's in trouble. He knows he is. He knows he can't get away with it. The courts are, Dementia. No, but I think he knows. Okay. So what we need to do is keep working on politicians. Keep working on, like the Tesla takedowns. The boycott we did of Target. That worked. So we got to think of boycotts and ways of weakening these pillars of support. Got it? So we are already doing that. We'll talk more about how to do that. The third thing is anticipate violence, that they'll try and crack down on us more and try and make the organization go underground. And here's the thing where it's like, oh, it's interesting because we're starting this, but we're not doing it enough. We have to be able to document and widely distribute when they are the abuses. And we need to show and explain so that people will be on our side. And this is the whole impact story thing, which is why we're trying to collect them more now. Because if we document and show it, then what happens is people shift. Got it? Are you guys getting tired? It's hard, aren't you? Okay. I'm afraid I'm overwhelming you and you're ready to die. Yeah.
Okay, but my question is that I follow Brian Taylor Crone.
So do I.
Okay, and he has been talking about the legacy media failing us.
Yeah.
And how he's concerned that his place on YouTube is threatened because of its ownership. And so what that brings me to, Cindy, is if he's losing his ability to communicate to us via those social outlets.
But then
What
hop.
we have.
He will hop over to Substack. That people keep hopping. There's always going to be something. So he may lose on YouTube, but that's why they're on Substack. That's why they keep moving. And legacy media is a problem. The whole media thing is really a challenge for us. And the whole thing with the Jake Tapper book, it's the nail in the coffin. Let's talk about Biden's age and him slipping, and let's completely ignore what's going on with Trump. It's just another shiny bubble to try and distract us. Legacy media put the nail in its own coffin. They really did. Yeah?
Adding on to that, there's new technologies being developed
Yep.
to get around all of this.
Yep.
So they tried to take down TikTok because of lots of reasons, and so people are redeveloping it in ways that it's not appropriately owned. So like she said, they're moving platforms around. We'll have to chase them.
We will have to chase them. It's like Blue Sky. Someone said, why are you still on Facebook? It's because Blue Sky is working on a Facebook substitute, and when they do, it's going to be completely open source, and I will hop there as soon as I can. But, so it's we have to chase the sources. But that's what we're all about with each other.
And if they go underground, it takes one or two of us to stay connected, to share it with the rest of us, and then we share it with 5 people, and they share it with 5 people.
It's the whole 80s theory of the internet. It really is. Break down the main and we'll all just keep going. Okay? I hope the main thing you're getting from this message is we need each other, we depend on each other, and we're connected, and we're working together on all the pieces together. Are you getting that? Is that the main thing you're hearing? Right? We're working on the rallies. Just wait. We're working on the rallies. We're working at tearing down the pillars of support. We're working on getting allies to shift so we can have them. And we're working on making sure that we communicate more so people hear our message and not theirs. Right? I haven't gotten to the fourth one yet. But you get that? That's the four things, the three of the four things we're working on. Rallies, breaking down what's supporting him, and sharing abuses and making sure people know and understand and hear, right? Making people aware. So that's what we're doing, is making sure we are counter-programming their stuff. Yeah?
My question for you is, and I don't know if anybody else is experiencing this, but something that I have been experiencing is I have a growing discontent with the people who say they are not, doesn't matter what party they are. They say that they're with us in philosophy and practice, yet they're doing nothing to support us.
Oh, those are called passive allies, and that's okay.
How can it be okay? Because it's exhausting me. Sometimes I feel very frustrated that people in my own family could be helping.
Well, I got them on the other side.
I know.
I mean, at least you got passive ones. I got active ones.
Those two.
Okay, good. I mean, it's just, they are where they are. Can I do number 4 and maybe you'll see a different place? Okay, good. Because this is the one that I got really excited about. Because it's so funny when they study these things, sometimes like what they get all excited about is the 3.5%, which is lovely, but that doesn't change anything. And that's the biggest thing I started to see is we need to change us from the roots up. Right? When we're fighting Congress and we're doing all this stuff, we're way up here. We're not dealing with what the real problem is. So here's the 4th step. We have to use a variety of nonviolent methods to persuade them to come to our path. And the way we do that is by creating a vision of a future that's irresistible or a beloved community. So that's where the whole potluck and picnic and block party and neighbors helping neighbors and speakers to help people get real information. Like the more we can connect, the more we will attract to us people who say like, I want that. Like I want to be part of that. And that's the biggest thing. And I thought, why did you save that for number 4? I wanted that one for number 1. I got through all this really depressing stuff first. But I was like, oh, that's good. So like they call it mutual aid, we call it neighbors helping neighbors. We call it save our services, right? We call it protecting equity. We're building a vision of a world we want to live in, and we're fighting from the ground up to try and get the rest of Chippewa Falls to build that world with us. That's the way I see it. We're trying to get them to build the new future with us. Now right now they don't trust us, and they're hard. It's like, I get it, but we can do this. We can keep trying, right? And believe it or not, I think the best way to do it is not to talk about politics or Trump or anything else. I think it's to have a party in the band shell, and just have a table out there where people can see it, but where we just have people come and eat food and laugh and have a good time with us, and everybody can come. And hey, come listen to the music, right? Yeah? What? Oh, thanks. Here's Spectrum of Allies. Thanks. I'm trying not to touch anything because I think every time I kick that leg, it happens. So this is where people are constantly moving back and forth. So these are Trump, so like we have our active allies, us too, we have our active allies, passive, we have neutral folks, and then passive and active. And people are always moving. And this is the pillars of opposition, the pillars of support. By taking certain actions like going against Tesla, by taking certain actions like going against Target, we get them to shift and make different decisions. Right now, Trump is experiencing things that he's slowing down, and it's because we're shifting the allies. We are. It's getting harder and harder and harder to get away. Before, he could just do whatever he wanted. It's not so easy anymore. Or he'd still be doing it. He'd still be doing it, as would all the rest of them. So we're doing good. We just got to buck each other up and keep going. Okay? So this is the main thing I wanted to tell you today. These are the next 1,100 days. And it's...
Seems like he's still doing what he wants.
It seems like it, but he's not. I mean, he's trying, and we just can't give up. That's what he wants. He wants us to all go home and give up. And it is frustrating. I have days, I told Margaret the other day, I have days I want to quit. There are days like, I don't care if I ever go to another meeting as long as I live. You know, I do. How can I not? How can we not? But then I think of your lovely faces and the little kids, and I think of all the stuff we're fighting for, and then I'm like, okay, you better get back up, you lazy bum. Yeah.
Is there a website or a research place that a person can go and look at, like he'll do something and it's illegal, but he'll do it anyway, and then somebody files a charge, and then it gets kind of pulled back. Is there anybody that's compiling those?
That's Amy Siskin.
Pardon?
Amy Siskin in the weekly list.
Oh, okay, because I think that would encourage me to know
Yeah,
that.
Amy Siskin on the weekly list.
that
Yep.
one was
Yes.
there, because I kind of, on the skirts here, and
Some-
I think it would be helpful for me to know that and pass that into.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is finding credible sources. The thing is finding credible sources and knowing there will, like sometimes people ask me this because they want to go fight with someone. And I got to tell you, they're not going to hear you.
No, I don't.
But no, I'm just saying, you need, if you know, then you can know.
Yeah.
Then you can know, and you can be safe and confident that that's right. And so it's just finding credible sources, which is why we have the credible voices on the website. That's where you were going? Yes. So we have the reliable voices on here, the places you can go to get information. And that's what we're trying to do. It's on the website, resources, blah, blah, blah. Encouraging voices.
I don't know if any of you, I just finished reading Revenge of the Tipping Point.
Yes.
You remember? And take heart. Examples that Malcolm Gladwell uses are gay marriage and the fall of the Berlin Wall, for example. It was on nobody's radar. People had been working for years through the courts and getting discouraged, and then the tipping point is it just happens. So took some comfort in that because
Yeah.
he said nobody could. The
And it's
experts
just-
could see the fall of the Berlin Wall,
It's the sustained effort,
sustained effort.
the shifting of the allies,
And telling
the
stories.
pulling away of support, and telling stories. It's
Telling
all the
stories.
stuff that I just said, which is why I made him record it. Because for the people, I'm going to be like, listen to it again. Thank you, Mike. But it's like, listen to it again. This is good. These are, and to me, this gives us a different place to stand besides on the corner once a week. Which I'm like, so the more, it's like, okay, now how do we fight this battle? It's not like we can't stop. We still got to keep doing it. But we can do it differently and know what we're doing, and we try and get people to join us. But we can also do these other pieces that will nurture us, fill us up, and bring people, and so we can connect and rebuild. Okay, that's our goal for the next 100 days. Why not? Why not have a big goal? I only have one more little thing to do. Okay, keep going. Oh, I'm past that. I just blabbered that. I blabbered all upcoming actions. I just blabbered all the rest. I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is coming up. I'm just going. Okay? You guys got any questions? You good? We'll think about it some more and talk about it again next week. But this is like where I'm hoping we can go, because even in my Indivisible meeting today, they were talking about this whole new thing about coming up with new actions. Like everybody's like, okay, now what? We need to shift. And so to me, the shift is not up here, keep doing this same attack over and over and over. To me, the shift is here. Let's rebuild, connect, let's shift. It's like when I thought about, we talked last week about Marcos, and I thought, oh, we got some work to do in Chippewa Falls. That's where I started. Like, oh, we got some work to do here to make people not afraid and connect us better. Because I think part of it is they let go of their stuff when they're not afraid. Yeah, Amy?
When you were talking about those numbers of who regretted their vote, and then now they're thinking about like, I'm falling away, not me, but that person is falling away from either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. Do you think that those people are going, maybe not today, because maybe they're a little burned out, but they're going to be looking for the next place to put their allegiance?
They are.
And so that's kind of where this all ties back.
Exactly.
together. We have.
If we're not locked in a camp,
Yep.
but we're fighting for progressive values to make this a better community for all of us, and that's our goal. And if you give me a Republican that'll do it, I'll vote for him. I swear to God. You give me a Republican that'll really do it, I'll vote for him if he'll fight for us. Now, I think those are going to be really hard to find. But I want to say that it's like if we're not locked into a party and shoving something, if we're just like we're all fighting for what's best for all of us, then I think it puts us in a better place. Could be I'm a dreamer and it's pie in the sky, but it's okay. It's me. It's where I'm going to be. Okay. Any other questions? We'll talk about it more next week. I hope. To me, I was overwhelmed and I felt inspired and like I had a chance and like we could do something. Plus, I felt like it was already in the group. You guys were already doing it. Every time I read something, it's like, we're already doing that. We're already doing that. We're already, you know what I mean? We're already doing that. And it was like, oh, we are actually just going where we should be. So it's just a matter of doing more of it and supporting each other so we don't get tired. Helping each other out. You know, it's Cheryl and Eiffel, I love it because she said, you know, she talks of, and Amy gave me this, and I'm not done with this deep dive, so be prepared for this next week. Here, you guys want to know what you're going to listen to next week? Here's what I'm studying right now. Amy said that there are a bunch of black voices in social media talking about what it was like to live in the time of slavery and how they endured under it. And what they talk about is how they were only allowed to have this teeny tiny existence because they were living in slavery. But yet they could celebrate their families and have their lives and have their food and have their music. And they could expand themselves as far as they could. And then they could push up against the ceiling and then grow that much more. And then fight some more and push up. And I thought, oh, that's what we're doing. We're all pushing the ceiling up. So get ready. That's coming next week. Okay? Or not. I might find something else better. Okay. Here's what we're doing this next week that you need to know. On May 31st, Mark Pocan is having a town hall at 10 a.m. It's at the Pablo Center. I really encourage you all to go. I will be in D.C., so I can't go with you. I told you earlier they're looking for people to tell impact stories. So I'm going to reach out to like Mary Conte. I'm going to reach out to Beaver Creek. So if you guys know anybody who's been impacted and would be willing to stand up in front of Mark Pocan and talk, please let me know so I can hook them up with the folks at Opportunity Wisconsin, okay? And you guys should go. Because it'll be awesome. This next week we have the Eau Claire and Chippewa rallies. I'll come to both of them this week. Try and get some friends to come too. I promise I won't put any more on this week. Just those two, I promise. So let's try and get some folks out there. There's a veterans event June 6th. I don't have much to say about that. No King's Day. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. It's not done yet, so like, don't think this is it. But I've been talking to the Eau Claire Parks and the Eau Claire Police Department, and they said we can march from like Owen Park to Phoenix Park. And since Phoenix Park, the end of Phoenix Park is where the, you know, Pride in the Park is. We can dump down there so those folks get recognized and we don't stomp all over theirs. We can have, what I'm hoping is in Owen Park, we can set it up and have speakers, not political speakers. It's funny, I've actually had people send me emails, can we not have political speakers? And it's like, well, they're all down for their convention anyway, but so we're looking for impact stories. People to come and share what's going on. So we're looking for a few of those to get people going. We're gonna do some chanting, play some music, whatever, march them down. That's what I think is gonna happen. Now don't go telling everybody that's gonna happen because I haven't got it buttoned down yet. Okay, you just got the inside scoop right now. But that's what I think is going to happen, especially since I wanted to have a rally then in Chippewa, but I don't want to have it compete with it. And it turns out my nephew is having a wrestling tournament in this park, and they'll be done about 5 o'clock, but they have it until 9. And I said, hey, what are the chances we could come in after and bring some music in? He said, I think we might be able to make it work. So that's what I'm trying to make work, so that we can just have for Flag Day a celebration of Chippewa Strong, right? So we can rally all day in Eau Claire, come up here and bring people in, invite food trucks, whatever. That's what I'm trying to get going. Now, as I mentioned, I'm a dreamer. So let's see what happens. But I have talked to everybody involved in all this, and there's a chance for all of it. So I'm trying to get this set up, and I'll let you know when I know for sure. Yeah?
I'm wondering if you have signage ideas
I do. You know what else I got? I got some flags that say "No Kings in America" with an upside-down flag, and I got a whole bunch of those with like flag poles. So we'll have a bunch of those, but we have others. Yeah?
What time are you anticipating that will start?
I'm thinking noon to like 3, like noon, like about an hour of talking or whatever, then the march, you know, down to Phoenix Park, then everybody wanders around down there, and then we come up here for an evening where it's cool, and we've had a couple of bands offer to play, and I just think it would be an amazing day if we can make that happen. And it's just a wonderful day, I think, to be together, and that's what I'm trying to make happen. We'll see. We'll see, okay? And if you guys got any ideas of where I can get one going up north, I'll make one happen. Help me out. I know. Website I already did. Chat GPT I haven't done. I'm doing that next week. I'll be gone next weekend to DC for Indivisifest. I'm going to go get all lit up with all the other Indivisible leaders. There are 275 of them, so they're going to give us a whole bunch of things like how to do the press, how to do this, how to do that, how to grow, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to come back even worse. I'm going to come back worse than I am now. But I will be able to do the meeting next week because I fly out Friday morning at 5. And I do want to spend time with you before I go because I want to be able to picture you when I'm in DC and know what I'm out there fighting for. Okay? All right. Yo.
If it's possible to get more signage or something around the rallies here in Eau Claire than for what you're talking about.
Yes, we're working on signage. When Thorsten comes back, we got a printer, so we're going to actually be able to print signs for people and get more banners. So yes. Yeah, I know. I agree. I'm with you. Can I ask you a favor? Sure. Nag me. Really, stay all over me. Don't let me get away with it. Because I'll get busy and I'll forget. Nag me. Okay? You have permission. Okay, yes.
This is a little off the wall, but I have been going through Project 2025.
Yeah.
Piece by piece.
Yeah.
One of the things I did was I word checked it, and they only used the word democracy 8 times in 900 pages.
That's horrible. But not surprising.
When you do that, when you hear, yesterday I looked into the tribal book and found the section. It's what organized like a thesis.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take it apart like a jigsaw puzzle and just look for what you want, I found what they plan to do to American Tribal Society.
Oh, it's bad.
You can find in there in advance what they're going to do next.
And they are working it. Yeah, and they are working it. Russ Vogt is working it hard. Mm-hmm. I know. We got a lot.
It's not fun.
No.
It's really discouraging.
Yeah.
But I saved it as a PDF file so I can work in it, and I print it for a section at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on my second cartridge.
Good. Well, you keep working it, and if you have stuff to tell us, we can put it up on the website.
And like some people who were asking, I recommend it.
Well, I was going to say we can put it. You've already done the work. Why make them go redo it? Let's put it up. 2 things. I'm going to post the thing with all the study with the votes on. The Podhorser thing, you should just thank God right now you get to read it instead of listen to it. Okay? All right? So it's long, but I'm going to post that. And then the other thing, Dahlia Lithwick wrote a brilliant piece today about why our empathy is being stripped away from us and why and what we need to do about it. And again, it just feeds into our thing about how we have to reach out to each other and the stuff we're doing. I just think we're doing the right stuff. We're all tired. We are. Yeah?
Cynthia,
Yes?
I'm making something interesting for you and other people also. It's a book by Timothy Snyder.
Yes?
It's called On Tyranny.
On Tyranny is brilliant, yes.
It's a short.
Teeny tiny book. I have like 5 copies if anybody wants it. Read it.
There's a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah. On Tyranny, Timothy Snyder.
Get it on Audible, too.
Get it on Audible, yeah. It's a great book. He also has on something else, Freedom.
Not as good.
Not as good and longer. I see you too.
I thought about, like, this is just a general idea. How do we get more young,
This is
more
it.
non-white people? How do we reach out to others?
Elijah is taking part in an organizing thing we hooked him up with, so we are working that, but they're resistant, right? We just have to keep working it. It's going to take some time. We'll get there. It is, especially up here, let's be honest. Up here, it's not Arizona, it's not California. I taught out there, it's like I was so shocked when I came back here. It's like, wow, I know, I have all white people in my class. I was like, oh my God, there are nothing but white people here. Mostly blonde too. Go ahead.
I spent a day down with the child care students. Have you been watching that in Madison? They had a day with our child care.
You can stand up.
They were able to stay in the Capitol for a week, and they had and it's made an amazing difference in the sense that they just had a press event today down at the Capitol where they introduced legislation because there's no money to subsidize the child care, and it's done by the end of June. They'll be 2/3 of the child care will vote. Anyway, I have child care signs for you, and I dropped some off in Eau Claire as well, so I'll leave these for Chippewa. And then they have become part of a group for this thing that I brought for the lobby day on Tuesday. And Citizen Action and the Wisconsin Public Education Network that I'm affiliated with now. And then it was the child care, the Wisconsin Early Childhood Action Needed Group, and then Wisdom, which is still new. And now it's expanded to Planned Parenthood, and it's expanded to REACT and AFP, and individual other unions have all signed on to come on Tuesday. So we have a bus leaving from the Jonah parking lot in Eau Claire on Gulf Road. I've got if you sign up, it's free, bus ride down, bring your pillow and your blanket, and you can sleep on the way down, and then we were going to gather at the Capitol. We're supposed to have about 2.5 hours to visit our legislators. If you've never done it before, just tag along with somebody and be part of. You can bring your own concerns down with you and talk about those. It doesn't have to be mine or anybody else's. And then Citizen Action is paying for the bus and for lunch. So if you sign up, you can have your lunch. And then we are taking a letter that we're composing to Tony Evers and his office to say if this budget does not have in it what you have all talked about, then he needs to veto it. And, you know, the only thing that can happen if he vetoes the budget is it goes back to what it is now. Given what the Republicans have pulled, and I don't mean to be, politics is our problem but not our fault. That's a good line you can use as being nonpartisan. Then the budget is how it works. So really it's an opportunity for Tony to really stand up for schools and for all the things that we've been having that budget for a long time. Mark flyers, we'd love to have you. There's still room on the bus. We'd love to fill that bus and make a statement and have hundreds of people down in Madison on Tuesday. So I'm going to get to you. Thank
Okay,
you.
you bet. All right, so we were going to divide into groups if you want. If you don't need to, if some of you are meeting. If some of you, if this is your first time here or you're not in a group or something, come on up here and talk to me. Starting next week, we're going to have a new greeter who handles new people so that they don't just get left on the side. You know, yeah. So if this is your first time here, come on up and chat with me. I know I seem weird, I am, but it's okay. I know, it's okay. I'll talk to you, it'll be fine. All right, any questions, thoughts, concerns? Throw your garbage away, please. Karen, do we have a big old garbage can? Break into your groups if you want. Stay in this room. Don't go in other rooms. And then we'll clean up the chairs.